Hey everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Monday Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch. And wow, last week you guys and gals really jumped in on the Bilfang radio thing. A lot of really smart comments on that, because there was some news from the previous week of how the US is moving toward making certain ones illegal, the operation of the legal in ways, and then also requiring approval. So anyway, got some good information, some clarification on some of you who do have your licenses, your actually FCC license for ham radio, things like that, kind of filled in some of the blanks. If you guys want to hear more about that, I have the link, I'll put a link up here to last week's video so you can go check it out. Also, remember, this show is from your questions, so put your questions in the comment section below, vote those up, as well as a video channel that you may like on YouTube, somewhere around the internet or anything that's airsoft related or peripheral. Like this week is kind of both. We're going to get to that in a minute, coming from you guys and gals. Also, if you want to support the store and show and get something cool in return, do have a web store. They sell some really cool morale patches, like little Velcro ones that stick on your gear. Free shipping worldwide, always on the web store. So go check it out. Link is up here. So that kind of gives you that. It gives you something cool in return, some that very custom and special. And you know, you kind of go help support the show because YouTube, well, doesn't pay that great if you guys didn't know that. Anyway, not begging you or anything. So anyway, enough about all that. Let's, before we get into that, one more thing real quick. I will be at AirsoftCon, and that's coming up very, very shortly. Actually, it's coming up so fast, and wow. I've already booked my flight. It's gonna be at EVIC, their mega store, their super store there in California, and it's going to be on the 19th, October 19th. I think there's some stuff going on the 18th as well, which is the Friday before. Let me get my calendar out so I don't tell you guys and gals the wrong date, and that would be terrible. So yes, we are looking at the, let's see, September. Let's get to the right month here. Wow, okay, yes, we're doing it live, by the way. Friday the 18th, I think there's some stuff going on there. You gotta want to check out their website and see what's going on. And then the 19th is going to be the event. Definitely come out and do that. I will do what I always do and be wandering around talking to everyone. I think that's the best. Instead of just hiding away, I like to get out and mingle and just answer your questions and just hang out and just be there and chill and get to meet everybody. So anyway, on that one, come on out. I'm pretty sure it's like you can get the sack of condoms to get in. There's like some raffles and giveaways. There's information on the website. Like I said, I'll have a link right below and you guys can read all about it. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Kanang Eagle writes, should guns with proprietary parts still be a thing in today's market? So for me, the short answer is a resounding yes. I think guns with proprietary parts are fantastic. And you're gonna go, well, Jonathan, that means you gotta stick with the gun. The reason they're fantastic is this gun has some proprietary parts in it. And you know why? Because it has to fit, to work, the shell, the mech box, the way the MOSFET's made, those things like that. I mean, yeah, it takes standard regular AEG gears, but an AEG motor, but a lot of the things are proprietary. The MP7 that I sometimes have back here in my background is almost all proprietary, meaning a special motor that doesn't fit in any airsoft gun, a special set of gears, special everything, cylinder, piston, all that good stuff. The reason I think proprietary is good is because it means there is innovation. We have a lot of airsoft, and everybody's like, oh, not another M4, right? You want to see more cool things like the Vector come out or the new MP7 AEG come out. And the reason I like the idea of proprietary, it means that people are going to be thinking outside of the box. Now, changing up your gun and making it proprietary for no other reason than just to make it so people have to buy parts from you, I don't like that. And I don't think there's really many companies that are doing that. I don't think there's any of the big ones I can think of. But to do it for the sake of innovation and to make improvements and to do things like that, I think is perfect. And we are seeing companies that are thinking outside of the box and have for a long time. I mean, you want to go way back, look at ICS with their split gearbox, right? Like a lot of the parts inside are normal AEG parts, but the gearbox shell's like two pieces. And that was way ahead of its time, I feel like. Then you look at things like the system of PTW, that's all a closed system. Like that is all 100% proprietary. There's nothing in that gun that you can take from regular parts. You have to go get Sistema parts or Fight Club Custom or somebody like that to change those parts out. But that gun really drove the modern MOSFET and where we are today. I feel like it was way ahead of its time too. And now the AEGs are catching back up to it finally. And the cylinder change and things like that, the way you could change the power, it was innovation. It was all proprietary though, but also innovation. So when you're looking at it that way, I think it is a good thing. But the other way, where you just want to do it for the sake of like, oh, your part broke, you got to come back to me, that's not good. But for this, I think it is good. Liberal tear drinker writes, are beards necessary to be a good airsoft player? Not necessary, but I will say this. I'm a really bad player. I grew my beard and I became pretty good. It's like plus 10 to your airsofting skills. Plus you can take a face strike, it doesn't bleed. So, you know, I'm not great now, but I went from sub-average to average or a little above. So I think for me, you know, having that plus 10 skill boost by adding the beard helped a lot. Jump 22 is back with a question. How do you get people outdoors to call their hits? I've never had any issue indoors, and I think it's because the paint almost conditions people to call their hits. Outdoors, I hit shots from long ranges and watch BBs bounce off people. Extremely frustrating. So yeah, I've seen this too. I used to get into sniping a long time ago, before sniping videos and Novrich and all those guys were out there. I used to love it. I had a really tuned up sniper rifle, and I saw that same problem. You'd pop people from so far away. You take a super long shot, right? And doop, you get hit. They kind of look around and they're like, huh? Don't see anybody. And they just keep on going, right? And that can happen, right? And I think if you take 1 or 2 shots, yeah, it's gonna happen. I think what it comes down to is it's perspective. The distance, you know, you're not gonna feel the shot. Typically outdoors, people wear more gear. They kind of, you know, gear themselves up. Plate carriers, longer clothing, and then thicker stuff, and then a distance, I mean, boom, it could feel like a branch hitting you. There's a lot of things that pop and hit your gear and make the same sound. So I think outdoors, I find myself not overshooting people, but I find that instead of where 1 BB indoors would work, just running around semi, that I'll do like a 2 or 3 round little flutter, like you know, put 3 in the air or 2 in the air toward a target, just so when they get hit, especially at range, I also look at the range of my target. Like, I'm not gonna put 3 into somebody when they're 10 feet away from me, like 3 meters away. No way. But if someone's out, like let's say 150 feet, like, you know, 40 meters we're talking about out there, 50 meters, somewhere in that range, you know, like that 150 feet, like at the max of your airsoft range, typically effective range, or even 100 feet, where you're looking about 30 meters, then yeah, I might send 2 or 3 their way. Just knowing that if I'm at field limit on my gun, having a couple in the air will let them know, pop, pop, pop. Oh, wow, that definitely wasn't a branch. It got my attention, the sound, because it's not gonna hurt them. I mean, at that range, that baby's gonna come in, it's gonna be like effectively at like 200 feet per second. I mean, the joule energy transfers so little, and that's where you're seeing your problems. So kind of take the perspective change of maybe I need to do it. Also make it challenge mode. If you get frustrated about these things, you can be, call your hits and get really angry. Or sometimes it's all about the perspective and the way you think. So when that happens to me and I see him bounce off an enemy, again, don't think just because you shoot and you put your red dot on them, it's gonna hit them. But if you actually see them, like you got a magnified optic, you watch the BBs bounce or whatever. For me, I'm like, okay, it's challenge mode, right? Maybe they're like a video game you're playing, like, oh, they've got extra hit points, you know, or they're wearing armor or something like that. Okay, so maybe you position yourself, move forward, put yourself in a little more uncomfortable position, force yourself to move up to get closer on that target, to take a closer shot, so they'll feel the hit more. I'll do that. So it becomes a challenging thing. It's like, okay, you know, maybe I don't engage at 150 feet, 50 meters. I don't engage at 30 meters. I want to move in and get with like 15 or 20 meters, right? And then take that shot. That's it. And it's challenging. It makes you have to sneak or maybe rush or move fast or do things like that to change your position to get closer to your target, your enemy, your opponent. That could be a challenge mode. So yeah, just different way to looking at it, and hope that maybe changes your perspective a little bit. So if you guys didn't see this, I mentioned last week the video that Greg Wong put up on Spartan 117 GW, his channel, with Travis Haley and why he plays airsoft, a good explanation, talking head video. Well, this video I referenced briefly in there about another fantastic video. This has over 2 million views. It's from the channel T.rex Arms. It's a firearms channel and a firearms instructor. And they take this airsoft player from Japan who's never fired a real firearm a day in his life, has 100% been working on airsoft. Now, mind you, this guy is like at the 99th percentile, I think, of airsoft. His transitions, everything down in airsoft, he's really dedicated to the craft. So we're not talking about an everyday airsoft here. We're talking about someone who practices dry fires, uses airsoft as a training tool, but it can only use airsoft because it's Japan and real firearms are legal there. So he's very good, very good. When you watch him in the opening, you'll see him do his airsoft stuff and you're like, yeah, he's really good at airsoft. and knows his guns and stuff like that. So they bring him to the States and they put him on a range, and he works with the instructor there at T.rex Arms, and it is amazing how fast he picks up, how good he is with the safety, how he's always putting the gun on safe, closing the desk. I mean, there's just so many little details, like his awareness, his manual of arms when he gets malfunctions, when he's starting to work the gun and he runs into some malfunctions, misfires, and he goes to the manual of arms to clear them. It doesn't even think. Now, that's him training, but he's never fired a real firearm. So the first few minutes are him getting adjusted, like, oh, recoil, this is what the kick is on a pistol, and this is how it kicks on an AR versus a gas blowback M4, right? So a real AR, when you're firing, real rounds, once he adjusts himself to the recoil and learns how to control that pistol, he's insanely good. But it goes to show you, and this is what I like about this video, you take someone who's very good at airsoft, and you transition him to firearms, and there's only a couple small pieces you have to make changes to. So in the matter of this little short video, it's like, actually it's kind of long for YouTube, like 20 some odd minutes, but very much worth the watch. It will keep your attention. In fact, about 6 minutes in, 5.5 minutes actually, start watching it at 6, I think is the big moment, is what I would say. I think it's one of the most poignant moments. I think around 15 minutes again, there's another very poignant moment, 15 to about 15 and a half. And that you will see him very quickly grow and change, and how you can take airsoft into the firearms world, which means if you want to use it as a supplemental training tool, like firearm, I think it adds some authenticity, some realism, some maybe respect to the airsoft world, that it's not just a bunch of toys. There actually is some really good things you can learn by playing airsoft that transition over. So overall, a fantastic video. Very much thank you, Bubba DFPD, to recommend this one. I was maybe going to bring it up. I was like, no, wait, because I really want to focus on Greg's video, but this week it is definitely worth mentioning this one. A fantastic watch. And T.rex Arms channel is really good too. It's one that I've always subscribed to as well. It's on the firearms side, so I don't really talk about it much here, but definitely a channel you want to go check out. I mean, like I said, 2 million views, can't be wrong. Some of the comments are a little toxic from the players, but like if you, the firearms guys, but if you look at like the top 15, 20 comments, they're all really positive for the most part. And it's really good. I think you can tell that there is a respect that, you know what, maybe there is something to this airsoft thing after all. And you see things like T.rex Arms, and then Travis Haley, it's all coming together. So anyway, if you guys and gals have a channel that you like on YouTube that's airsoft related, or like this one, kind of on the fringe of airsoft, or even something where maybe it bleeds over into the gaming world, let me know. Put it in the comment section below, as well as your questions for next week. I do my best to dig through and get the best ones out and answered for you every single week. Don't forget Airsoft Con in a couple weeks. We'll see you guys and gals in America, in California, there at the EVIC Superstore. Please come by. As it gets closer, I'll give you a more detailed schedule of what's going on, where I'm going to be. Maybe there will be some gameplay. Maybe I'll be at a field, something like that. Maybe a night or two before. Go out, do some airsoft playing while I'm in town. Love for you to join me wherever I may be. And if you guys don't follow me, make sure, like on YouTube, I'll try to do updates, like little post updates on there in between the videos, as well as I'll be doing it on Instagram too. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Airsoft. It's basically just Airsoftology on Instagram. You can find it over there. Masha, I'm going to start doing more updates on it to keep you guys and gals updated. Maybe some even live stuff on there, as well as YouTube from the actual event. Anyway, until next week, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.